Let's talk about Benchwork on the new layout extension. Howdy YouTubers, today we're going to talk about Benchwork on the new layout extension. I'm not going to get too hung up on track work because that is still a work in progress. So the idea is this will be a yard with possibly an industry along the wall. But the main objective is that's going to be an interchange yard where CSX/Conrail come in and drop cars for the P&W, which is who really controls this whole industrial park. And there is the new engine that my buddy Don I Race put a Loke-Sound V5 into, including ditch lights on the front and back. There's a video on my channel showing him do that whole process. Amazing the way that thing runs. It needs final detailing. I don't have the grab irons on the front or back. I'm going to weather it a bit based on the prototype. Anyway, here's how the Benchwork is coming out. It's a floating shelf. We've got that nice sweeping curve. I haven't finished putting the masonite fascia on, but I'm in process. So what I did is I used 5/8 inch plywood, the same plywood that I used for the entire layout, and then a 1/2 inch homosoap board screwed right to the top of it. Not glued, just screwed down with 1 inch sheetrock screws, pretty closely spaced. So underneath, I tried various methods. So we have concrete block here in Florida, so you have to use concrete hammer drill and then the concrete Tapcon screws. So it's what I did here. I took a strip of the 5/8 inch plywood and I anchored that to the concrete. It's 6 inches, and that gave me something that I can bite into with the shelf brackets and then with the top board in the back there. And I tried multiple variations of Amazon Chinese made shelf brackets, and honestly they're junk. They're not square, they're not true 90 degrees. So what I did is I took a piece of the 5/8 plywood and then I screwed through it into the edge of this piece here. So I just cut out shelf shaped pieces, screwed it back into it, and then screwed the whole thing on there, and then screwed the top down. What was nice about that, one, they're strong. Two, when I put it together to make sure everything was level, if the brackets didn't fit perfectly, I was able to take the belt sander and get them to fit in there like puzzle pieces. So 3 shelf brackets, and then I put a 2x4 screw to the edge of the existing Benchwork. This is Seaver's Benchwork. And then where I attached the 2x4, the top board is just screwed into that on the edge of the existing layout. So it anchors the whole thing to the existing layout. And then for those of you who've done these curves, you know how that works. And I had a couple of guys give me tips on this. One is Anthony, and the other was Don I Race. So thanks, guys. I'll put the channels on the screen. It's just this, what they call the block method. So where you are going to put screws to hold the curve, you screw a block to the top board, and the edge here, I just chiseled and honed a wedge shape so that it is a nice sweeping curve where the next board's going to join. And this is the existing fascia board that was here along the side of the layout, and I didn't want to waste that. Also because I had my electronics going through it, so I just unscrewed it and then had it follow along here. So there you have it. I think it comes out here about 34 to 36 inches, and then it comes back to 12 inches all the way down. So it's 12 inches out. And I decided to add an extra 6 inches here at the end. So it gives me 7.5 feet off the layout, and whether or not that's going to be the track plan, TBD. I haven't really put a lot of thought into that. And then for the edge here, it's just a strip of plywood where I screwed down from the top into the plywood along the edges, and it's rock solid. I think I use 2-inch, probably 3-inch screws. Always though, if you do that with plywood, obviously you want to pre-drill because otherwise you'll split the plywood. But if you pre-drill, it's as strong as can be. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can stand on this thing and it's level. So some bench work, and next comes the track work, and I'll do a separate video discussion on that, the rationale. But it really already changes the whole look and feel of the layout, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm not going to extend that light valance because really this is going to be mainly a staging yard. It'll be detailed. I'll have ballast, I'll have static grass, you know, I'll weather the track and maybe have an industry along that wall there. But the main focus still is the industrial park here. So what comes off that L brings cars onto the main layout for switching, and then returns those cuts of cars back to the interchange yard, exchanges them for a new set of cars, and so on and so forth. So that is where I'm at so far on the layout extension of the New England Industrial Division. It also gave me some room to get some storage drawers from Michael's Crafts. Gotta wait for those things to go on sale, but they're nice. The extension on this end, which is really just to lengthen the main and give me an extra siding, that I'm not going to really do much with. I'm going to do static grass, and I'm going to have some tufts of grass coming out of that siding. I want it to look like just a little maintenance away siding. I did put a backer board here to hide the shelf, and that was a Bill at my Finger Lakes Railway Layout at his request. One of my other subscribers also was bugged by the wires, so I covered that. I gotta tape that to the wall, but I agree. Always like the viewer comments and suggestions. Makes everything much more enjoyable. And occasionally I listen. Occasionally I don't. But there it is. I hope you like it. Stay tuned for more. The exciting part, honestly, is going to be the track planning and getting that just right, and then getting my new engines and possibly some rolling stock, additional rolling stock. So in addition to that CSX, I did acquire a Rapido Conrail, which has a Loke sound in it. I'll see if Don can help me program that so that I can get it to be speed matched and function matched to the existing Loke sounds that I have on these other three engines. All right, there you have it. Hope you all have a great weekend. Cheers.